In this video, I'm going to show you 10 tax deductions that you've probably missed. Coming up next on Holy Schmidt.
Holy Schmidt!
Hi, this is Jeff Schmidt, and welcome to another video. Hey, if you're a business owner that wants to grow your business, cut your taxes, and other entrepreneurial related activities, make sure you subscribe below and click the bell so that you get notified the next time I post a video. In this video, I'm not going to waste your time reminding you of the traditional missed deductions that you see on many lists. These are things like automobile mileage or your home office deduction expenses. Instead, we're going to go deep. We're going to talk about 10 that I'm pretty confident that you've missed, or at least many of them you've missed anyway. Stick around to the end because there's one that results in a massive tax credit if you've done what the credit requires you to do, and there's a 1 out of 12 chance that you have. So why don't we just jump right into it. Number 10 is petty cash. If you're like most businesses, you have a petty cash fund for things like bagels or for other expenses that you just don't really want to write out a check for or use a credit card on. This fund is one of the most overlooked areas for tax deductions because people don't think about it. The definition of petty cash means it's small, it's insignificant. But when you actually add up all of those dollars over the course of 12 months, it becomes a very large tax deduction for many businesses. The next one is magazine subscriptions. Magazines are in your lobby, you buy them for research, and sometimes you just buy them for fun because there's something of interest in the magazine. If there's data or information in that magazine related to what you do in your business, then you can write off the magazine subscription. Next up is rented business equipment. This one's missed a lot because most people, when they do have business equipment, they depreciate it. So when you rent a machine or a copier or something for a day, a week, or even a month, a lot of times it just doesn't make the list because it's just insignificant. It doesn't rise to the level of something you think about. The next one is credit card late fees. Now, this one is not only overlooked, but most people actually don't think they can deduct late fees because it's a penalty, and they've been told that penalties are not deductible for the IRS. The fact of the matter is, penalties like parking tickets are not deductible, even if it's on a business car parked in front of a client. But credit card late fees are perfectly deductible, and if you acquire quite a few of them, which some people do, then you should absolutely make sure that you deduct those late fees. Even if you don't have a lot, put it on your list because it all adds up. Next up is credit card interest. Now this is the most confusing one for people because they have been told time and again that you can't deduct interest on your credit cards on your tax return. And that is absolutely true if it's a personal card. If it's your business card and you have a balance on there and you're paying interest on that balance, that's perfectly legitimate. You can deduct the interest expense on your credit card, just like you could deduct the interest expense on any other loan for your business. Next is what I call the bad client or customer line on your tax return. And this is someone that, or people in many instances where you've provided credit and a product to, and they've just never paid for the product. The cost of that product to you is a tax deduction on your tax return. If you provided them a loan, in certain circumstances that happens where you finance your clients with actual cash and they don't pay you back, the entire amount of the loan is a bad debt expense and it's deductible when you've written off the loan and you don't expect to get paid back. Next up is parking and tolls. And if you have employees that commute to work every day, you're not responsible for paying for their mileage on their car from their home to their office, and you're not responsible for paying for the tolls either. But once they get to the office, if they go out to see customers and conduct business for you on behalf of your company, not only do they have the mileage deduction that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, but they also have parking and tolls. And the parking and tolls are completely tax deductible once you've left the place of business to go meet with a customer. Next up is continuing education. Now this is very confusing for a lot of employers because in order to remain competitive, they'll often pay for higher education costs for their staff because their competitors are doing it, and they'll often have higher education available that is unrelated to the job at hand. In that instance, it's not a deductible expense for the employer. But if you provide education or training directly related to the job that the staff member or your employee is doing, that is 100% deductible. Next up is payment processing fees. If you accept PayPal or credit cards in your business, and most companies do, you'll know that there's a tiny percentage that the provider of the service charges you. Sometimes it's 2%, a little bit more, a little bit less, and that's taken out before you actually get the revenue for the transaction. Well, that amount is a tax deduction, so don't forget to claim it, because those 2% stack up and becomes a very large number over the course of 365 days. Finally, the granddaddy of them all. If you hire a vet, there are at least 5 tax credits available depending on the status of the vet and how long they've been unemployed. And these are big, big numbers. Now, to put this in perspective, 1 out of 12 adult Americans is a vet. So there's a 8% chance, more or less, that that person you're talking to is an ex-vet. It's certainly worth finding that information out when you're interviewing them, because there is big money, up to $9,600 in some cases, as a direct cash tax credit. Not a deduction, but a cash tax credit straight to you. So those are my 10, but I've got a question for you, and that is, what is your favorite unique tax deduction? Please let us know in the comment section below so that others can benefit from your knowledge. Also, as I mentioned at the beginning, if you like the video and you like the channel, please consider subscribing and clicking notifications so that you get alerted the next time I post a video. I post about twice a week. Finally, if you want to have a little bit of fun, or you just have a high level of curiosity, check out this video right here. It shows you quite a few completely legitimate business expenses that you can't deduct. The IRS will not let you deduct them. This is Jeff Schmidt. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.